Welcome back to our Ask a Knitter series, where I answer common questions that I get asked on knitting in my classes. Today's lesson, we're going to take a look at negative ease, what it is, when you use it, and why you would possibly want to use negative ease in your garments. If you are enjoying the videos in this series and you want to watch more, make sure you subscribe so that you'll always know when the next one is coming up. But right now, let's pop into our lesson. Let's learn a little bit about negative ease today. It's something that you don't come across quite as much in knitting anymore. But when I started knitting, first of all, 15 years ago, negative ease was all the thing. All of the garments that were being knit and being designed tended to have negative ease. So it may not be something you've come across, or if you've come across it, you may not be completely aware what it was. So first of all, I'm going to give you just a brief overview on what ease is and how you can figure out what the ease for a particular garment is. So when we talk about ease, it's in relation to garments and how it fits onto your body. So what you're going to start with first of all is your own bust size. So that's actually measuring the size across your bust. Because of course, when you're knitting or when you're picking a size for a pattern, they're generally sized according to the bust. So you're going to need to know what your actual bust size is. So I did this in the previous video, so if you missed that, it was where I was talking about positive ease. You can pop back onto it. Just do a quick overview again here, where you ideally have someone to help you, and you make sure that this is nice and straight so that it doesn't go down too far, too high in the back, so that you're getting an accurate measurement. And you're measuring the actual size around your bust without it pulling in too tightly. You're going to want a light undergarment, and you're going to want to wear the kind of bra that you're likely to wear with whatever you're knitting. So that gives you your actual bust size. So that will help if you're looking at a pattern and it's saying to fit size, that would be the bust size. It may not have that. It might just have like small, medium, large, extra large. It might show it like that. But it may also actually have the bust size that corresponds to. And what that would be is what we just measured there is your bust size. So now, in order to figure out what size you want to knit, you have to put your bust size together, which you've just measured, with the actual finished size of the pattern. So that may be shown in the pattern at the start. In my patterns, I'll always have a line where I say the finished bust size. So that will tell you when you finish knitting it and you put it down on the table and you measure it, it'll let you know the actual dimension. So that's the finished size. If the pattern you're looking at doesn't have that, you'll find that in the schematic in the back, where you just go to the back and if it's in the round, it should give you the dimensions that you would be knitting. Or if it's done flat, it'll just give you one side of it, so you'll need to double it up. So that's going to be the finished size. So putting those two together is going to let you know how much ease you've got. So if you've got, just to make things nice and easy, I'm going to pretend her bust size is a 40-inch bust size. It's a little bit less than that, but we're going to pretend it's 40 inches. So in the previous lesson, if I wanted positive ease, if I wanted 2 inches of positive ease, I would add that to the bust size. So 40 plus 2, it would be 42 inches. And I'd be looking for a finished size of around 42 inches to give me that 2 inches of positive ease. But if you think of something like a t-shirt, you know when you get a t-shirt, they tend to look quite small, but the fabric is very stretchy. And when it goes on, it will fit you. But when you actually put it down, if you measured it, it's smaller than your bust size. And that's actually known as negative ease. The only reason something with negative ease can fit you is because fabric, knitted fabric, t-shirt fabric is stretchy. So if I had a t-shirt like that and I wanted to get it to fit, it's going to stretch across the bust size and it's going to be a little stretched out, and that's how it will fit. Stockinette stitch fabric can do that to a certain extent, but anything where you've got very heavily cabled or anything where it's a stiffer fabric, it's not going to be as forgiving. Now, there's something else you're going to want to think about in relation to negative ease, and you can see what's happening here. This particular cardigan is just barely fits this model here. And when that's a cardigan, what ends up happening is you get this wavy effect. Now, if the buttonholes in this case were a little bit further back, it wouldn't be quite as dramatic because it would still pull back. But that is a big downside with negative ease if you've got a cardigan going on, is that you will get the kind of this snake wave along the edge as the fabric stretches across to fit the bust. If you've got one where you've got a zip, it actually works fine. There's no bother at all. But negative ease, you need to be very, very aware of the kind of fabric. You generally want, I think of it as if you're using superwash or something that's knit a little bit loosely so that it comes closer to kind of a t-shirt fabric or something which has a lot of natural stretch. So it very, very comfortably stretches with your body, and it's going to, so it works okay. You don't want it for something like this where you've got a button cardigan. The only time I've used it for something like a button cardigan is one that was designed to not really be closed, where it was just kind of a little baby style cardigan that was worn over a summer dress, and it was only going to have one button closed here and then the rest of it basically kind of stretched open like that. And it works okay with that, because in that case you're never asking it to pull across in here. So it doesn't matter. It can handle it quite comfortably, being a little bit, having a little bit of negative ease. But it has definitely kind of gone out of style. If the garment's not designed to be done with negative ease, then you need to be very, very careful, because if you size it down, you may find that the sleeves are too tight or the neck's too tight or something else doesn't work well. But if it's a garment that is designed for that, you may have the bust a little bit smaller, but the rest of it should fit okay. One big advantage of working with negative ease is it actually puts shaping into your garment where you may not have any. You might have something that's just straight up and down, but by virtue of the fact that it has to stretch to accommodate your bust, it'll mean that it pops back in for your waist. So it actually is going to give you a little bit more shaping in the garment, simply because the bust is going to be stretched taut, and then this one will sit a little bit more smoothly down for the rest of the body. So that's just a little bit about negative ease, what it is, when you can use it, when you need to be careful of it, and I think most importantly, what fabrics it works for and what styles it works for. So don't be afraid of it. It may be something that could be useful to you at some point, so don't completely discount it, but do use it with care. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson in our Ask a Knitter series. If you enjoyed this lesson, then make sure you subscribe so that you can watch all of the ones in the series. Follow along and jump into the next video. Thank you for watching today.